And this is something I think you've said a lot of people who get laid off from their jobs have built up that 401k. They're able to go and start a business right there. But again, this is our warning. This is very tricky waters.
Yeah.
You have to have somebody helping guide you through this, or else there can be some serious consequences.
Yeah, and Guidant Financial is the only company that I have worked with that I can say, not that there's not other good companies,
Yes.
but Guidant Financial is a company that I know that specializes in helping people do this.
Yeah.
And I would recommend you find somebody in your local area or Guidant Financial themselves to help you through this process.
So what are some of the pros and cons here of this option?
Well, the pro is that you can tap into your 401k savings right now.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, you have money you've been saving for retirement, and all of a sudden you find yourself unintentionally retired.
Yeah.
Maybe you got laid off. Maybe you decided, I should buy a boat. You moved to Belize, and you're like, I don't have any money. So you need an income.
Right.
So you can able to tap into your savings and do that. That's neat. The con, though, is that you have to follow these rules strictly. Otherwise, you could really get in a world of hurt here.
Yeah.
And nothing's worse than getting in trouble with the IRS.
Okay.
I've done that before, and I had a chance. My agent, her name was Eugenie.
Eugenie.
And her and I got together, and we had a lot of good conversations.
You guys became really good
Very
friends.
good friends. I spent enough FaceTime with her to get to know her well, and I don't recommend you go through that same course.
Right.
You know
That
what I
makes
mean?
sense.
Yeah.
I feel like what we're doing here is presenting you with a lot of different options. You might not have thought of this one, but we're eliminating this excuse. I don't have capital. Like, there's no capital out there.
Anybody on the planet with a pulse who wants to gain capital can do it. Anybody.
This is just another option.
14 rocks to turn over, baby.
Boom.
Boom.
All right, method number 9, business lines of credit. 18 months, no interest, credit cards. Talk to us about this, Clay.
Well, here's the thing. Some people view a credit card with no interest as a credit line.
Okay.
And what we're trying to do is let you know, yeah, that is a form of credit. That's a credit line as well. So there's a little bit of overlap with the credit cards. But then there's also this thing just called the line of credit. And what this is it's any credit source extended to a government or a business or an organization or an individual by a bank or a financial institution. So let me give you an example. If I owned a bank, I might say, Caleb, you can spend as much as you want, up to $10,000 at any time.
Okay.
So every month with your catering company, you buy $6,000 of chicken and vegetables and these different things you buy. And every month you pay off the credit line, and then you get another $6,000. So it's like a revolving cash flow.
Okay.
Money, you borrow the money you need to buy all the supplies at the first of the month, and you collect payments from the clients, and at the end of the month you pay it off and make a profit.
Okay.
So it's a credit line. Now, the pro with that, the good thing about that is that you don't have to have a ton of money then to go out there and run your catering company.
Right.
You have this line of credit. So you could start a business with very little cash on hand and use that line of credit to make payroll.
Right.
And the money comes in. That's something you can do.
Okay.
The bad part about that, though, is that at any point that bank could shut off the spigot, you're done.
So compare it, I guess, directly to the credit card method.
Yeah.
What is the difference necessarily there?
Well, with the credit card method, that just consists of a credit card and a credit card company.
And this is
credit
working
lines
with
where
the
you typically go to the bank.
Okay.
And the banker says, I will extend a $30,000 credit limit on that, but don't get on the long end of that. I mean, don't get to like 29 and 30.
Right.
This worst case scenario, I'll cover you up to this much.
Right.
And then you need to pay that back each month. And at any point, I can shut it off.
Okay.
And so when you notice the financial crisis happened, when this happens all the time through American history, the economy is very cyclical, and it goes through cycles where it's contracting or expanding. Well, when the economy was recessing with the recession, what was happening is that some of the banks were calling in their capitalists saying, whoa, you guys are too far extended on how much money you owe us.
Right.
We're just going to call it all due right now. We're going to say no more credit for you. Well, that can shut a trucking company out of business right now. That can shut a restaurant down right now because they don't have enough cash reserves on hand. So a credit line is a great way to get started, but my recommendation is you build up enough cash in the bank so that you have your own credit line. So for me, I get nervous if I have less than like $300,000 of cash.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if bad things happen, I just have a lot of insurance. I'll pay
You're
it
not
as
at
I go.
anybody else, the mercy of anybody else.
Correct.
With this, like you said, the bank can just say, okay, thank you, that's it.
And a lot of
done.
times that happens.
Right.